Blessed second week of Epiphany to you. Last week we heard about the Epiphany liturgy and some strange things that happened in Spain with ham and whatnot. All very interesting. This week we have a great story about Philip from Pastor Matt. If you're coming at the 9:15, you are going to hear a wonderful message on that. So today we're going to expand a little bit on Philip, and we're going to talk with Pastor Matt. But before we do that, let's begin with the opening tagline. This is the interlude, which I could never say it, which comes before the before and the after. This is the interlude. It's fun. It's kind of funny. Anyway, Pastor Matt, come on in here. Like I say, you say it so well. I just should have you say it all the time.
Oh, you were fantastic. You just nailed it.
I know. Every time. It's like it's a stop sign in my brain. Anyway, great story on really Epiphany and the story of John or Philip and Nathaniel today. What really caught me today was there's this little piece of Philip that's in there. I mean, and he sees Jesus and believes right away and convinces Nathaniel to do the same. But there's this whole rich story of Philip, and I kind of like to expand on that today.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful story. And one thing that I was noting when I was looking at this text ahead of time is you have the birthplace of Nathaniel, and or at least where he's from, I should say, in Bethsaida.
Right.
And then we also have the end of his life, which is in Hierapolis, which is a totally different region in Asia Minor. So it's like, what happened in between? What caused him to go out there, right? So we started in Bethsaida, and here we have a picture here. I had the privilege of doing an archaeological dig in Bethsaida, and there are a number of the disciples that followed Jesus that are from this particular town. And so you get the sense this is the start of it all. This is where he's raised as a boy, where Philip is raised. You imagine his life as a young child. What's he doing there? But then, as I say, we get to the end of his life.
Now, what I like about these is, I mean, these are real places that you can go to in the Bible. I mean, it's when you read them and it's like, oh, Bethsaida, whatever. But when you can actually go there and start digging and see that these Bible stories really come to life is really what I like.
Right. That's what we want to draw attention to. As I always say, real people, real places, real time. So we then jump. So we get his hometown, and then we jump to the end of his life, right? Hierapolis,
which is you don't just pop in the U-Haul and drive up to
yeah,
Asia
which is quite the distance. Now you see a picture here on the screen now of the location of this, and La Casa de Cristo actually took a Bible trip to this location to study it more. And one of our participants from the trip, Rick Knowling, is with us.
Come on in.
So come on in, Rick. And Rick, what is this, snow that we're looking at, or what is this in this location?
No, this is travertine. It's calcium carbonate.
Oh.
Calcium carbonate. So tell us about what this landscape looks like. You were there, right? Did you stand on top of this?
Yeah, took our shoes off and waded in the water. So, yeah.
And,
there's been several major earthquakes in the area. There's a lot of faults in the area in Turkey. And so as water percolates down through these cracks and faults in the earth, the rocks themselves are limestones, and so they dissolve some of the minerals, some of the calcium from that. CO2 from the heated from down below mixes with that and forms a weak acid, which dissolves more calcium. As the water comes up to the surface and flows out, there are several springs there which cause this, and as it cools, it loses its ability to have all this dissolved minerals, and so it precipitates out calcium travertine, which is the white rock.
I mean, it looks like they're ice crystals. This looks like it's a frozen tundra up here, but this is all rock. I mean,
it's all rock.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, and it's a gel at first, and then it comes to the edge, so that you have these pools where the water is, and up at the edge they build up, especially in the warmer thermal pools.
That's what we're looking at now. Is
Yes,
the pools that are there.
And then over time, this gel crystallizes into rock, and travertine is used as building.
Oh yeah, that's
flooring.
lovely.
Yes,
I mean,
right.
And what is the texture like? Like when you step on it, is it slippery or what is it like?
Well, it's wet and slippery. Yes.
Okay.
So everybody thinks that this all the stuff comes from Italy, but you can go to.
Well, there's even travertine at Havasupai Falls.
Oh, interesting.
It's cold water travertine, so it's not as extensive in that. It's got other mineral impurities, so it's not white like this.
It's a fascinating location. And now here's one of the reasons we're visiting this site is because we're talking about the end of Philip's life now, and the tomb of Philip is found at this site. So above this area that you see, when you go upwards, you're going to start to see some church structures that come from a little bit later centuries that were built up, and are obviously pointing to a very significant life of Philip because of the devotion of Philip found in this area. And then we have this bread stamp that was also from this area. You can see it here, that has two different church-like buildings on it, one on his left side, one on the right side. That's Philip in the middle. And we knew the one on the right side is from this area. And so we know that Philip is paid special devotion in this area, and the idea is that he is actually buried here. And so they had been looking for his tomb for a long time. They didn't know where this left side building was, and then more recently they discovered that left side building, and there it is, the tomb of Philip. So you can go there and visit the tomb. You remember seeing this tomb, Rick?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome, because I mean you don't really hear a lot about it, Philip, in the Bible. So it's you have all this rich history that's back there. What was it like in there? Were you guys able to get into the?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I specifically remember. It's quite the hike and quite the climb to get up there. There's this long 225-foot staircase. It's 12 feet wide. It's a significant staircase where pilgrims for a long time have been climbing this staircase to go up and pay honor to Philip. So we remember that. This is all the stuff that is the background of the sermon and the life of Philip.
Right.
So that's what you get online, our online audience, all this extra material for you.
The design of the interlude, extra material.
Exactly.
What a great trip, really. I mean, you guys, when you go to see this stuff, it really just, like I say, brings the Bible to life. I really love that about the entire trips and things like that you can see it. So
Yes.
well, what a great time. Thank you so much for that message today. Like I say, those of the 915, they're in for a great treat. And we will, hear more about it soon. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching the interlude. If you guys want to catch more of the interlude and the recordings, go to our website, lacasadecristo.com/interlude. And we will see you next week. God bless you all.